Well, let's talk about it. You mentioned WWE's got so much going on. It certainly feels like from the outside looking in, they're firing on all cylinders. We're right at 100 days into the Cody Rhodes reign atop the WWE universe. He is the top guy for WWE. And Dave Meltzer's come out and said something along the lines of Cody Rhodes is more over right now than John Cena ever was. And I'm sure he's using metrics like ticket sales and merchandise sales and things like that. The rumor and innuendo is that Cody himself is even sending those numbers to John Cena to see, hey, does this seem right? Because I don't think a lot of people really saw this happening, but Cody's hotter than ever. And I'm wondering, as you take a look from the outside looking in, what do you think of Cody's first 100 days atop the WWE universe?
My opinion means nothing as a fan because of my obvious bias. Just yesterday, I was sitting out on my deck with a cup of coffee, my dog. I'd finished talking to God as I normally do when I'm outside on a day like yesterday. And I was reflecting back, and I actually had some music on, and I heard this. It was Garth Brooks. I think it's called The River, came on, and I had a flashback to Dusty singing along with that song when we were driving down the road to an event. Janie Engel in the car and Doug Dillinger, and Dusty loved that song. And if you listen to the words of that song, to me, it just represents Dusty and what I perceive Dusty's inner thoughts to have been, I guess is the best way to say it. So my connection to the Rhodes family, my personal bias, disqualifies me for anything other than I'm excited about it. But the business side of me feels differently. There's no emotion on the business side. And I think on the business side of things, the numbers speak for themselves, which is exciting. And it's exciting because exactly what you said, Conrad, you're 100% on the money. No one expected it.
Yes.
So now I'm thinking, what are they going to do next? What was their original plan when they weren't expecting this? And how has it changed? When I say business, I mean creative as well. And that's a fascinating, and I don't know, and I don't try to know, because that takes the fun out of it for me. If somebody tells me where it's going, it's like, then I got nothing to think about. Thank you very much. Now I'm really not watching, because you know what I mean. But I'm fascinated with it all. I'm so happy for all the reasons why I'm biased, but I'm also really excited about the business aspect of it because that can have some serious ramifications in a positive way. Trust me, it's not a bad thing. It just opens up more opportunities. And I'm not going to lie, because we're talking about it now, I'm excited about it because I drank some really good coffee this morning. Oh, and about half hour after that, I got into the kratom. Bam! Off I go. Off I go. But yeah, we'll let it go with it. I'm just very excited, interested to see how it impacts what they do going forward.
I'm interested to see it too. I love what they're doing with Cody. I'm excited to see what's next. It's been a long time since we've had a big baby face like this, but occasionally even big baby faces would create a little bit of controversy. We saw him do an interview with friend of the show, Chris Van Vliet, recently. And well, there were some people who were upset when he was asked about AEW, and he gave what he felt like were some pretty honest and forthright answers, I'm sure. And our other buddy, QT Marshall, over with AEW, who's a personal friend of Cody's, had a little post from AEW wishing him happy birthday a couple days ago. And in Spanish, a fella jumped in and said, tell your best friend to keep his mouth shut when it comes to AEW. And QT, who still works for AEW, by the way, quote tweeted this and said, tell people to stop asking him about it. If you can't handle his responses, don't ask the questions. The responses he gives are some of the most politically correct responses. He's sitting on top of the opposition and still keeps his responses classy. I think QT brings up a good point. Cody's sort of damned if he does and damned if he doesn't. Because if he fields an AEW question and he says, I don't want to talk about that. That becomes the story. If he gives a politically correct, fair, and honest answer, that becomes the story. What do you make of this non-controversy? We're asking Cody about AEW, and whatever he says is an issue. It's a little weird.
Look, the social media fan base, I'm not going to generalize and say the entire fan base, but the social media fan base of AEW that I see a lot of are the softest, least informed, emotionally challenged people I've ever seen on social media. And it's mind-boggling to me. They're all little acolytes of the Dave Meltzer school of thinking and have subscribed to the tribalism and the victimhood of AEW, and to be AEW is to be under constant attack from the WWE. Tony Khan and Dave Meltzer set all this shit up, and now they whine about it. And this little group of weirdos that are AEW social media supporters are just marching along, following that lead, and everything's everybody else's fault. It's be bad WWE. It's the tribalism. It's so bad. And I'm with QT. Dude, if you don't want to hear it, just don't listen. If you're that emotionally sensitive and developmentally challenged, that comments that are just straightforward answers to a question, if that triggers you, if that hurts your feelings and makes you want to lash out because Cody Rhodes didn't say the things that you wanted him to say. Because if you were Cody Rhodes, you would do it a different way. So you're angry at Cody for not being the mental midget that you are and the emotionally stunted, underdeveloped pain in the ass to probably everybody around you. Your family, your friends probably just can't stand being around you because you're triggered so easily. Fuck them. That's what I say. If I was Cody, I'd just be straightforward honest. I'd be telling mucker futhers, you want to know some dirt? You want to know what it's really like back there? Do you want to know what the rest of the roster tells me every week? There's bodies in closets. You don't want that. This guy, instead of complaining about it, should have thanked Cody for being professional. If he was really that concerned about the perception, and by the way, it's not perception, it's reality. If he was really concerned about the reality of the audience's rejection of AEW, because that's what it is, it's not perception, it's real, then perhaps you would appreciate it when someone like Cody, in the profile that he's in, goes out and handles the question professionally and doesn't take any shots or pull any skeletons out of closets and start dangling them out there for all the clickbait geniuses and newsletter writers. I think he did the right thing. It's just unfortunate that so many people can't handle the truth. You want the truth. You can't handle the truth. I love that scene.
SaveWithConrad.com.
I'm Nick Castillo from Waterville, Ohio. I've listened to several of his podcasts for a few years and have always heard the ads for Save with Conrad. And my wife and I were looking to refinance, and we had looked into a couple different options. And then I had remembered one of the ads and contacted you guys, and here we are. We had some debt that we accumulated, and we wanted to pay it down, get everything in under a much better, more manageable APR. So smooth. I've never had anything finance go that easy. We got a chance to work with Francis and Larry. They made everything comfortable. They were very personable. They were on top of everything. They made sure we were on top of everything. They were with us every step of the way, kind of guiding us. So like I said, I've never had an experience that went that smooth. Right off the bat, we saved at least $250 a month. Within a couple of months, we'll probably be at the 400 to 500 mark a month. I'm Nick Castillo from Waterville, Ohio, and I've saved over $400 a month with SaveWithConrad.com.
NMLS number 32416, equal housing lender, SaveWithConrad.com.